My name is Aaron Lopresti. I've been a comic book artist, a commercial illustrator, and a writer for over 25 years. And this is my YouTube channel.
Hello again, everybody. It's once again time for Talking Comics and Art with Aaron Lopresti. I am, of course, Aaron Lopresti. It seems like it's been forever since I made one of these videos. And I guess that's the purest indication that I have a collecting problem, because it's probably only been, 2-3 weeks tops that I haven't got a book in the mail. And I'm getting the withdrawals, the jitters. So thankfully, I've solved that problem by ordering another book. It showed up today. It's a Bronze Age. I don't know if I'd call it a classic, but it's a pretty good one. Let's take a look and see what I got this time. All right, you're pretty much guaranteed that when it shows up in a box like this, that there's a CGC book inside, or a CBCS book. Banging on the table there. Sorry about that. I'll do my best to cut into this without destroying the book inside. We probably should have any problem with a box this depth. Oh yeah, look at that. Spongy popcorn material. I think this has been packed quite well. It appears that it has. Now let's see what we got here. It's all wrapped up in bubble wrap. All righty. Okay, let's eliminate the box and get right to the goodies. Ooh, is that some sort of weird bug? Oh, no, okay. This guy's, I got this book from Florida. I think this is part of a tree outside. I don't know if he was boxing this in his front yard or what. Anyway, let's get in here a little bit tighter. I keep getting my shirt hung up on the lip on this table. It keeps making that noise. All right. Wow. This is exactly what I like to see. Do you need extra money? $100 is yours. It costs you nothing to try. Cheerful Card Company. Yes, Rush My Christmas Card Sample Kit. Oh my goodness. So they send you these cards and you go door to door and sell them in your neighborhood. This is what we call the good old days, folks. Make an honest living. $100 for the greeting cards. But that's not why you tuned in. You want me to flip this sucker over, and I'm going to do it. Looks like it's pretty clean. That's always a good sign with a 9.2, which it is. There it is. 9.2. Now, this is an old CGC label. This came out in 1971, October of 71. Of course, this is Conan the Barbarian, number 10. Now, some of you may be saying, why this, Aaron? Why Conan number 10? Well, let me tell you a tragic story, which often follows me around in my collecting life, whether it's original art or comics. I bought an ungraded copy of this from a dealer that I've known for years, great dealer. But I bought an ungraded copy. And of course, back in the day, I didn't necessarily check the books like I probably should have. And I recommend highly, if you ever buy an ungraded book at a show or someplace like that, have the guy selling it to you, take it out of the bag. You don't do it because you don't want to actually damage the book while you're thinking about buying it, especially if it's high grade, like a 9.2 or better. Have them flip through it, make sure everything is there. And what happened was I bought this. I didn't check it. And the guy was a dealer friend of mine, so I figured that's probably cool. So I bought it near mint condition for $80. And this was several years ago, like 10 years ago or more. And then I put it in my collection. I didn't change the Mylar. I didn't do anything. And then, several years later, like 3 or 4 years later, I guess I changed the Mylar or something, and I happened to be flipping through the book. And there's a King's Cole story as a backup story in this Conan. John Severin, Marie and John Severin, nice little story in there. was a big Cole fan, of course, more so than a Conan fan back in the day. And the pages, a couple of pages from that story were detached from the spine. So basically it took a 9.2 book and they spent $80 on it and made it worthless. So I've been sitting on that for years going, and I never brought it back up to the dealer because I thought, I can't go to him like 5 years after the fact and go, oh yeah, remember when you sold me this book 5 years ago? So anyway, I just kind of ate it, and I've been sitting here just kind of, it hasn't been a priority. I don't like to rebuy books I've already got because I'd rather buy something new and add it to the collection. But I'm such a stickler for condition. My entire Conan run is 9.2s with the exception of a couple of 9.0s. And so it's like I couldn't have this one crappy book in there. So I keep my eye open, and then the prices on this have dropped because we've talked about this on previous videos, that we had that big COVID explosion where everybody had all this disposable money and no place to spend it. And a lot of it got dumped into the collector's market, which drove prices up on everything in the books, comic books, good and bad. I mean, good books and bad books that should have no value were still exploding. So they're all dropping now, coming back down to earth. And so then, and even some of them are, the bottom is falling out a little bit. And that's kind of what happened here with this. This should be about a $200 book, and I got it for around just a little bit, excuse me, a little bit more than 100. Excuse me. So I'm not going to complain about it. And these are especially tough in high grade because if you notice, this is a 25 center. And Marvel did this. If you look at, there's several, series during this period of time, 1971, where they had 2 months where they would do back-to-back issues where they do 25 centers. They'd be larger format comics, right? So that's why there's the Cole backup story in here, is because this has a full-length Conan story by Barry Smith, of course, and then there's more pages because it's a 25 center. So I don't know what they were exactly trying out. Maybe this was, instead of an annual, they did this. I don't know. I probably should be a little more educated and look and see exactly why they did this. But they did this to about every title. There's a couple issues of king size issues that are 25 centers back when these were still, they're probably 20 cents in 1971 or 15 cents at the tail end of the 15-cent days. But because this is a square-bound book, and the way that they stapled these things, they glued the spine and they would staple the guts. So there's usually a staple running right here and right here, and it tends to wear through the covers on these things. And so and it's hard to get a good straight spine like this one has. So these books, these giant-sized books, they're not impossible to find in high grade, but they're harder to find in high grade. And you can see the little bumps right there. I think you can. From the staple. Yeah, there you go. See that? A lot of times those end up on the front cover. So they're a little bit distracting. It doesn't seem to affect the grade all that much, though. But these are tougher to find square and in nice condition like this. And at the price, I couldn't pass it up. It's interesting. This is an old label, CGC. And those of you guys who pay attention to this kind of stuff know that the CGC just not too long ago had a little bit of a problem with some people, employees, a couple employees, taking high-grade books, replacing them with crappier versions of those books, and then sending them out as like 9.2 or 9.4 or 9.6s when they're not, and then taking the really true high-grade ones and selling them themselves or keeping them. So that was a big old problem for a while there, and so some of those books are floating around, but this would not be one of them because this was graded a while ago. I don't know if they have the grade date on here. Yeah. Like 2000. So this was graded a long time ago. So I'm not worried about it being accurate. And I can tell by looking at it that it's a 9.2. You can see that the corners are square all the way around. No blunting. There's no creasing or anything in the spine. Probably the only thing knocking this down to a 9.2 might be those staple marks right there. There's a little bit of scuffing or soiling right there in the spine. A little bit of a ding right there. But there's really, really not much wrong with this book. So this is a really sharp looking book, off white to white pages. I got a great deal on it, as I said. And so now I've got it back in my collection. I no longer have to suffer with the pain of knowing that I bought a book that had torn pages in it. So now, once again, I've upgraded my existing collection with another near mint gem and Barry Smith to boot. But the great thing is now I can take the other copy, which is not slab, and I can thumb through it all I want. So there you go. A fine looking book. I'm sure I'll have more sooner than later. I appreciate you guys, of course, tuning in to check this out. And I would especially appreciate it if you could hit the like and subscribe button. It helps the channel grow. And we are slowly expanding our reach through YouTube. And I appreciate you guys' help in doing that. I also have other programming on this channel. Aaron Live every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific. I do host the Professionals once every 6 weeks on this channel, which is every Tuesday night. And then Wednesdays, of course, the best draw stream on the internet, Graybeard Studio, 2 o'clock Pacific time every week. So there's a lot of programming to be had right here on my YouTube channel. I hope you guys will take the time to check it out. And also know that I do have a graphic novel campaign on Indiegogo right now called Kit Carter Planet Doom. You'll find the link in the description of this video. Take you right there. You can check that project out and hopefully back it, as I'm over halfway done with it right now. So it won't be too long before we're able to start shipping here in early summer. So once again, thanks for joining me. You've been watching Talking Comics and Art with Aaron Lopresti, and we will see you right here next time.